2 straight games, Dubs come up huge. How much is your job easier when he's playing like this? And for all I know, he's going to keep playing like this the rest of his career. How much does that make things easier on you?
A lot easier. Not only for myself, but for the rest of the guys. He can shoulder a load. I've said this before. He does so many things for us as a basketball team on both ends of the floor when he's the best version of himself. But yeah, like you said, he was great tonight. Makes the world of a difference when he's that good for sure.
Tim, second row.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. What stood out to you most about Dub's performance tonight?
Yeah, he was like really gutsy tonight. He stepped into big plays. I feel like every time he needed a shot, he made it. He wasn't afraid. He was fearless tonight. Whether they went in or didn't, and obviously tonight they went in more than they didn't. But he stepped into the plays with confidence for sure.
Williams and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander become the third duo in the last half century to each score at least 30 in an NBA Finals game at the age of 26 or younger. As I mentioned earlier, Shaq and Penny back in '95, the most recent. Before that, and I get the folks in Seattle are a little prickly as it relates to this particular franchise. Your history belongs to you. Dennis Johnson and Gus Williams for the Sonics back in '79. Tim Legler is alongside. As we're watching in the back room, you're taking your notes, I'm taking mine, and I'm thinking, is this another one of those nights when everything's about the Thunder and it's going to be the Pacers that steal it again? It's a 2-point game in the fourth, and I don't know how the hell it is, and then it's not. What do you got on the touchscreen that shows the way the Thunder were able to finally put this Pacers team down tonight?
Well, let's give Indiana credit on a night when Tyrese Haliburton didn't give him really anything offensively. They put a lot of anxiety in this building. And here they are in the fourth quarter. They make their big run, and then it comes down to execution, both sides of the ball. Let's start off with offense. I thought this was the biggest shot of the game. Cut it to 5, and when you come down and execute like this, this is a big momentum play in the game. And it starts right here. Very, very important. Defensively, I talk about it all the time. You have to know where your containment is. If the defender on the screen is coming up on this side, if you're Nembhard, you've got to get your feet moving in this direction, and that's going to force Shai into the traffic area right here. Instead, watch what happens. He's able to get loose around the outside and now leaves 2 in the dust. And so now you've got to make some bad decisions on the backside. You have no choice here. If you're Haliburton, you've got to step up. You see, you got a backline defender doing it as well. But that now means that you've got Lou Dort right here circling to this wide open 3. Scott, when you go cut it to 5, all the tension in the building, and you hit a 3 immediately to get that thing to 8. Now, okay, we're a 3-possession game. Everybody relax. Now the defense, and this was a major theme over the last 6 minutes of the game. You gave Jalen Williams a lot of love offensively, as you should have. I'm going to give him some love right here defensively, because not a lot of guys this late in the game, you want to fight over a pick. Watch what he does right there. First things first, over the top of the pick, nowhere to go for Nembhard. Now they execute this second one perfectly. You're going to get Haliburton coming here, a dive by Miles Turner. Watch the way Oklahoma City executes this. You got Chet jumping out right there. Jalen Williams takes the dive man, so you get nothing out of the action. And now the tail end of this is really what the end of the game was all about, forcing turnovers, getting out and running. Lou Dort with a great closeout. You're going to see right here, chases him off the line. When this penetration comes down the lane, watch Jalen Williams step up. But the key guy is right here. Shai is going to stunt as if he's going down to sink on Miles Turner the whole time. He knows he wants to play that passing lane. So you see Jalen Williams steps up, Shai drops, he reads the pass perfectly. Again, 8-point game. Now you're out in the open floor for an and 1. It goes to 11. So it's 5 on defense to 11, 2 trips later after a 3 and then a stop and a conversion. So Oklahoma City really buckled down and executed down the stretch when they had to.
The 22 turnovers were significant. The number of threes the Thunder hit early to make this a game that largely followed game scripts that they've enjoyed most of this season, I think, was huge. But the Haliburton piece is the biggest question mark. His coach says he's not 100%. That was obvious. I'm interested in what we were talking about in the back watching it. McConnell, I get as a spark, but if that spark is more than your best player,
right,
don't you have to stay with it?
Definitely. I was talking to you about this in the fourth quarter in the green room because it was obvious to me at that point that Tyrese Haliburton wasn't going to turn this around. It wasn't like something like, hey, maybe there's a big play to be made here or a big shot.
Not tonight.
He couldn't get by guys. He was not putting any pressure on them defensively. In a lot of ways, they were playing 4-on-5. Offensively, Rick Carlisle was trying to stand up for his guys, saying he thought he did some nice things down the stretch. You had a player out there that was just not impactful. Oklahoma City knew it. They didn't have to play him the same way. Look, I don't know if they win the game if you go with T.J. McConnell most of the fourth quarter, but I do know this. He was moving where he wanted to on the floor. He was repeatedly collapsing their defense. Now you've got a chance once you get it to 5. If you continue to do that, it's a good three-point shooting team. You have a chance to potentially make some shots late. So I just thought it should have been obvious. And I think Rick Carlisle went a little bit too far with his guy. I get it. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I just didn't see that happening tonight. And now I think that is the biggest factor as we change cities, go to Indianapolis for Game 6. What is the status of Tyrese Haliburton? Can he look more like himself?
Haliburton has 1,000% earned that buy-in from his head coach, this team, that fan base. He's been the guy for them, but tonight he was not. And now as they go back home, and it's a wild card that neither of us or anybody knows the answer to. If they don't have Haliburton in some percentage close to what he's been, is this a game that's winnable in that frenzied building, as great as it is? Can they will him to a win?
I would normally say no, because you take away the engine of this team. But look at tonight. They're in a one-possession game in the fourth quarter, somehow miraculously. And you look, they had some other guys not play well offensively in this game. So maybe you get more from some of those guys. Benedict Mathurin really struggled tonight, and he's been a key factor in this series. So I wouldn't completely rule it out, but certainly that they need to see their guy out there pushing pace, pushing tempo, being the tone setter for their offense. They've really got none of that out of him, and they were still somehow in the game on a night when Oklahoma City hit them with some big punches.
You call Haliburton the engine, you're right, but I mean, TJ is the little engine that can. That guy gets anywhere he wants on the floor and was a monster spark in this game. If it's got to be more on his plate, I think we know for certain he'll say, put it on there. I can stand up, I'll give you a shot.
NBA